Hello. Well, I am definitely not used to this new version of Facebook, and I'm in a different room and I can see something scrolling and I'm not 100% sure whether or not this is working. But we're here, so it's exciting. It's always good to learn something new, isn't it? So for those of you who don't know me, I'm going to take my glasses off because they are reflecting terribly. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Emma and I'm one of the team here at Women's Health. So I am not supposed to be running this Facebook Live today. Janet's supposed to be standing here with you and she's supposed to be doing laughter yoga. Unfortunately, Janet's unable to be here today to do laughter yoga. And so I thought I would jump on instead and do something that I probably feel a little bit more familiar with and something a little bit more knowledgeable about. So I have quickly grabbed some notes here. So again, I'm going to be cheating and using notes. If you have any questions or comments throughout, please feel free to pop them in the comments box. I can actually see them, so that's fantastic. And thanks very much to Mel for letting me know that you can see and hear me. So I am actually in the middle, I'm going to perch myself on a little table here. I'm actually in the middle at the moment of writing a vision board workshop that we're going to be doing as part of our online learning courses. So you might have noticed that we're doing more and more of these online learning courses, and that's basically thanks to COVID. We found that we're able to support a whole heap of more people who wouldn't be able to come in and who wouldn't be able to access our services if they had to come to Gosnells. So instead we're able to use some of the groups and courses that we've already got, and Mel's been obviously recording a whole heap of those, and we've got 4 available at the moment, 3 from Mel and 1 from Bree, and that's self-compassion, making sense of money, shifting your perception of anxiety, and then 1 around ATAR stress as well. So I thought I would throw my hat in the ring and create something about vision boards. So we also, this particular activity that I'm going to go through with you today is actually an activity that we get clients to do when they're first coming in here. It's because a lot of the time when people are going for counselling, they know that things aren't necessarily feeling right, but don't necessarily know where they're trying to get to. So part of this is about trying to actually go through and refine that. So we use it with our clients. It's something that I do use quite often. So I thought I would share it with you. So if you have a pen and paper and you want to join in and do it with me, then that would be great. Otherwise, feel free to screenshot stuff if you find that it's useful. I'm not actually going to take you through how to create a vision board. I think that I didn't have enough scissors and glue and glitter and magazines to be able to do that. But if you don't know, a vision board is basically you get to harness your inner kindy kid, and you get to sit down with a whole heap of magazines and your scissors and your glitter glue and your regular glitter and a piece of poster board, and you get to cut out things that sing to your heart and then you stick them on the board. And the idea is that by actually really focusing on what you want and what you want in your life, you're able to then work towards getting there, which is really great if this gives you the ability to help you focus on moving towards goals and dreams and making them a reality. But one of the tricky things can be if you don't actually know what those goals and dreams are, how do you start moving towards it, or what do you cut out and where do you start? So what can happen is that it can actually add to a sense of overwhelm, and that's really not what we want. So before we can start moving forward and focusing on bringing your goals and dreams into reality, we need to first take a couple of steps back and we need to work out what our goals and dreams actually are. So in a vision board workshop that I take participants through, we go through a range of different activities, and they kind of just really help work out where you are now and where you want to be. So I think one of the issues, as I said at the beginning, is you can start by going, yeah, this isn't working for me, and I know that where I am at the moment isn't where I want to be, but I'm not sure where I want to go or how I get there. So sometimes when we're in a state of overwhelm, it can be really hard to move forward. So this is an activity that just helps us go through the idea of, I want this, not that, or if not this, then what? So the activity that I'm going to take you through today is really simple. It's just going to be a couple of minutes, and it's just start, stop, and more of, less of. So I'm just going to start by splitting my page, it's a really big page I know, into quarters. Yeah, awesome. Oh, can't get the lid off the marker pen, that'll be 101. Okay, so hopefully you can read my terrible handwriting. So we've split it into what do you want to start, what do you want to stop, what do you want more of, and what do you want less of. And I think, so I just want to say as well that you don't need fancy paper in order to do this. So you don't need 6 different colours, you don't need special pens, you don't need a special book. You can do this with a biro and the back of an envelope. So don't let procrastination stop you from actually taking steps forward. And I say this as somebody who has a special pencil case with all my favourite fine liners in it, and I have these art books that I use for all of my projects, and you know, with art paper, and they're spiral bound because I prefer working with spiral bound books. So you know, I get that when you are particular about pens and paper that it can be hard to start if you haven't got the right stuff, but actually you don't need the right stuff to start. Literally for this activity, biro, pencil, you can do it in a lipstick, but I don't recommend it because they're probably more expensive than a biro, and back of a receipt, you'll be fine. All right, so I'm also saying this as somebody who at the beginning of today didn't realise I was going to be doing this workshop. So you can either be prepared with your special pens and your really nice notebook and everything that you like working, or you can wing it. So either of those work, but you just show up and make something happen. Get it done, people. All right, so to go through this actual activity of what do we want to start doing, what do we want to stop doing, what do we want more of, and what do we want less of, in order to get an idea around what we want our life to look like. So some of the examples that we hear sometimes when we're talking to people here is I want to start having a better relationship with my kids. So I'm going to pull because I do like using different coloured pens, I'm just going to pull the lids off my pens. So I've got some different colours to write with because it brings me joy to have different colours. I really wanted a purple, but I don't have a purple today. Hopefully these colours will show up. All right, so I want to start having a better relationship with my kids. So what's that actually going to look like? Well, I might want to have more quality time with each child individually. So I want more of more quality time with the kids individually. I might want to have more patience when I perceive that they're not listening to me. So I might want more patience. I don't want to yell. So let's put less yelling. I want more peace in my household. What colour have I got this? I want more fun. So then that comes down to, what does fun look like? So we're not doing it today, but you know, laughter yoga. I might want more laughter in our life. I want to start being the kind of mum that I want to be. Okay, I want to stop living in chaos, which, if you don't know, is can't have anyone over syndrome, and that fear of what happens if someone turns up because my house looks like a bomb's hit. So I want to stop living in. And it's really simple then to be able to go through and, oh no, I've done those in the same colour. Oh well, I have to deal with it. But anyway, it's really simple to then be able to go through and to be able to pull them out and work out, well, actually, in order to do this, in order to have a better relationship with my kids, what do I actually need? So I can pull that apart with, okay, so one of those things is having quality time with my kids. What might that quality time look like? So depending on how many, and you can use this for everything. So that was just, obviously this is just one example. If you don't have children, you're probably not going to start with that. But, you know, so when you're looking at your individual children, actually what is going to be the way that you can connect with them? So how can you think about those children and what can you do? And so when it comes to that, so you know what your relationship with your kids is like. where can we put something that in order to have more quality time or better quality time with each individual child. You know, I want to be the kind of mum that I want to be the kind of mum that I want to be, as opposed to what. So what is it that you're doing at the moment that you want to stop doing? So what does the kind of mum that I want to be, what does that mean to you? How do you actually define the kind of mum that you want to be? Is that the kind of mum that is there at school pickup every day? Is it the kind of mum that's, you know, got the frilly apron and is in the kitchen and is baking and has always got amazing things coming out of the kitchen and all the friends are over there raiding the fridge, which, by the way, I quite like the idea of the apron, but less so about the actual baking and having to clean up afterwards. You know, I want to be the kind of mum that is, finish the rest of that sentence. When you talk about having more patience, gives you the opportunity to go through and go, okay, well, when do I feel as though I'm not patient with my kids? But when am I patient with my kids? So what's happening in those times that I can be patient with my kids, or I can be patient with my boss or my husband or partner or animal, or so when can I be patient? And so if I'm able to in that particular situation, what am I doing in that situation that I can do more of? Because if that's already giving me patience, what's giving me the ability to be patient in those situations? But in the situations where I'm not able to be patient, what's happening for me then? What am I able to stop doing, or what am I able to have less of that I can then reduce whatever those barriers to patience might be? I want to have more peace. What does peace actually mean? Does that mean you want to have a nice, calm household? Do you want to? So it's about actually digging into it and going, well, this is the idea around the kind of life that I want to create for myself. So we can all say, well, I want to win $80 million on the lottery on Thursday night, which I don't know if it is actually a jackpot, but that would be nice, just putting it out there to the universe. I'd be happy to win $80 million from anywhere. But we can all say that, you know, we want to win $80 million and we want to have a mansion on the beach with whatever. But what is it about having that mansion on the beach that you actually want? What does the mansion bring to you? And is it the idea of space? And so if you want to have more space, then what can you start doing or stop doing, or what can you have more of or less of that will actually give you that feeling of space? Or what is it important to you about that feeling of space, and how can you include that in your life more generally? So when we ask people to fill out the start, stop, less, more, what we tend to do is people kind of look at it and go, well, aren't they all the same? Well, they're actually not. And this is how we pull it apart. And this is how we're able to go through and go, well, now I want to stop living in chaos. Awesome. What does that mean? What are the things that you can start doing? What are the things that you can increase doing or decrease doing that are going to help you stop living in chaos? And, you know, maybe moving to a lighthouse where people can't drop in on you. That could be an option. But otherwise, if that's not an option, then what are the other things that we can maybe start doing? So from here, this is then able to give us a picture, a kind of a broader picture around that idea of the kind of life that we're hoping to create. And from here, we can use that to inform the kind of vision board that we might create. So hopefully that's been helpful for somebody. And again, so with the, you know, when you go through this and work out the kind of life that you're hoping to create for yourself, what it can also do if you're coming into counselling or you're going to choose courses to do anything like that, it can give you a sense of, well, I'm, you know, rather than just sitting in this sense of overwhelm, where am I hoping to go beyond this? And how can I take one small step towards moving to achieve some of these bigger goals of being the kind of person that I want to be, or being able to actually take time to focus on myself. I want to start putting myself first. I want to start whatever that might be. So hopefully that's been helpful to someone. It's been lovely chatting with you today, and I look forward to seeing you whenever I happen to see you. All right, have a fantastic day, everyone, and I will see you later. I might see you for a bit because I'm not used to using this version of Facebook and I'm not actually sure how to end the video. All right, take care, everyone.